Hey guys, welcome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about rewiring the brain and brain neuroplasticity. So this is a very deep and complicated topic, and it's actually something I'm researching at the minute, or beginning to research for a another course that got coming up in the future, more focused on ascension and starseed spirituality and awakening. So so the reason I'm going to touch in on it on this course is because if we understand that our beliefs create our reality, and believing is seeing. So if we don't believe that ETs exist, we won't see them. And a large part of this journey is rewiring our brain and coming to new beliefs and new understandings of reality. And as we come to believe that the ETs exist and they are here and they want to interact with us, we are creating this reality within us. And so rewiring of the brain is a big part of this. And perhaps to start with, I'll share a little bit about the techniques that have worked for me in the past to help rewire my brain. And one to start with, particularly with the ufology, is watching a lot of documentaries and videos around ufology and really looking at the science behind it and beginning to understand and see that, that there's so much masses of evidence out there. And when you start looking at all the cases from the past, like Rendlesham Forest and Roswell and the Phoenix Lights and just the Hudson Valley UFO sighting. Phoenix Lights and Hudson Valley were the Yale, so I had to slip them in there. So I'll put some links in the PDF to some good documentaries I believe that you'll find interesting and exciting to watch on ufology and UFOs and stuff like this, and spirituality and UFOs and the more wider conscious aspect of it, because I believe it's really good to spend time consuming this kind of information. If you're excited to, of course, follow your own resonance, but I'm sure some of you are going to be excited to look through some of these videos and see what's out there. And so that's step one, like watch videos around ufology and of course around spirituality, listen to teachers, particularly as well, like teachings who are more focused on like meditation and just coming into emptiness and awareness and like consciousness and perhaps the self-realization, or what's sometimes called non-duality or Advaita. These type of teachings that take us to a kind of emptiness and spaciousness are a great way to bring us back to center and begin to untangle all our beliefs, because ultimately this spiritual path is the realization that no one truth or no one perspective is true, that all truths are true and all perspectives are valid unto themselves, because reality is infinite in nature, and it's only our collective agreements as an earth civilization that kind of ties us into these beliefs like gravity and stuff. And so the more we come to understand this as a civilization, and we all come to the beliefs that beliefs are malleable and beliefs create our reality. Beliefs are malleable, is that the right name? Beliefs are changeable and beliefs create our reality. Because they're much more than malleable. We can like literally just like drop one belief and pick up a completely opposing belief in a second, and this has happened to me in the past. Very radically opposite beliefs like shifted very rapidly, and so this is kind of the place we're going to on the spiritual journey. That the more we are able to disidentify with our beliefs and not stay rooted in any one perspective. More and more these days, I try not to like identify too heavily with any one belief or any one perspective. It's because I know that my beliefs and my perspectives are changing all the time. So it's pretty ignorant and arrogant of me from this understanding to like hold on to any one belief too strongly in the moment. And so this is the idea of neuroplasticity. We're trying to come to a place where we can really make our brain more. So the idea is that like scientists understand this. This isn't just spiritual hoo-hoo. This is grounded in science, like what I'm going to describe now. Like neuroscientists understand, and I'm not an expert, so don't catch me out if I do get something wrong. I'd like to know if I get something wrong, just for our own learning. But like, just to let you know, I'm not a neuroscientist. So the idea is that our brain has these things called neurons, I believe, and our thoughts, when we have thoughts, our neurons like send electric pulses between each other, and these are what creates what we call a thought, what some people believe is who they are. So if you're still like coming out of this idea of, am I the physical mind, am I infinite consciousness? Well, if you think you're the physical mind, you're nothing more than a series of electrical impulses firing between the neurons in your brain. And so the idea of neuroplasticity is that as children we have very plastic minds. Our brains aren't wired very solidly, but as we get cultured and conditioned and repetitively taught stuff, and our beliefs become solidified, like something like my name is Jonathan, like at a young age, that would have got lodged in my brain, and what happens is by repeatedly having the thought, I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan, you create a neural network in your brain, two neurons, or I don't know the proper term, but the neurons are definitely connected to it. I think they're the neurons. They fire electrical impulses between them and create the thought, I am Jonathan. And people and people spend, this is why I'm laughing, because like seeing like people spend their entire lives like believing I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan. So their entire existence is identified between like two neurons in the brain, in all the infinite universe, like firing and saying I am Jonathan, I am Jonathan, and like they think that's who they are. And so this shows us the dangers of having a very solid brain, and why people who are very solidified and in their beliefs cannot see UFOs, because they don't believe they exist, and they can't break out outside this paradigm. And so the idea is that researchers into brain neuroplasticity, which I believe is going to be a huge hotbed of research over the next decades, because as people understand that our beliefs create our reality, and everyone's having negative thoughts, like the main focus for humanity is how do we have positive thoughts if positive thoughts create our reality. So brain neuroscience and neuroplasticity, and understanding all the emotions and how that's connected, and perhaps I'll get to that a bit more in a minute, is really essential in creating this new reality for us and creating extraterrestrial contact, more specific to this course. So I think I sent you a link in the last PDF. I touched on this in one of the last two modules. Things that can help learning a new language, to create neuroplasticity, to start to untangle the hard wiring and make your brain more plastic so you can have new thoughts. It's much easier to have positive thoughts. This is why you wake up in the morning and you can't stop having negative thoughts when you don't want to have them. It's partly because they're hardwired into your brain, so your brain is just used to it. It kicks into gear in the morning and does what it's used to doing, which is having negative thoughts. For a lot of us and a lot of people, I'm still identified with our physical minds and our ego and our lower chakras. And so, but a lot of it's also to do with the biochemistry of our bodies. So I'm getting into levels I don't understand here, guys, but just bear with me if I say something that doesn't like sync up with science. But yes, so our chakras and our nervous system, it's all connected, and like I'll be going into this deeper as I understand it deeper myself in further courses in the Ascension training that's coming up. And so we also have chemical releases, like hormones and stuff releases when we have a thought, like say a thought, I'm angry with this person because they did this to me, and then we make up with that person the next day, and I'm like, oh, I love this person so much, I want to spend the rest of my life with them. We're going through some very erratic thought patterns and some very erratic emotional biochemical releases in the body connected to these patterns, which create like pheromones, and I don't know what they are, but we get addicted to them. But they're addictive like drugs. So we not only have these hardwired thoughts in our brain that create these negative thoughts, we're also addicted to the chemical releases from our hormones, which are all connected to our glands, which are all connected to our chakras, believe it or not, which are all connected to our nervous system and our higher consciousness. So it's all connected. But the idea is we need to be looking more into like actually how do we bring our brain to more of a plastic state. So learning a new language, playing music, doing art, traveling, and playing video games. These are just 5 things I came across on the internet. Great ways to create a plastic mind. What Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, and I definitely recommend you check out his series on Gaia called Rewired, which is definitely going to be part of the research for my upcoming course. Is he talks about a lot about this, Rewired, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talks about how it's all connected to the chakra bodies. And the best way he describes to rewire the brain is to go into meditative states and raise our consciousness into the highest states of bliss and euphoria we can. And this creates a natural rewiring of the brain. He understands all the biochemistry and the science because he decided to study neuroscience to get to the bottom of all this. So yeah, so this is the idea that believing is seeing. You cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of, and our beliefs create our vibration and our thoughts. So if we don't believe that aliens exist, we won't see them. And like it's been a big integration process for me. I mean, I got sightings before I even fully believed they existed. So but there was something in me that was open. Do you know what I mean? I was having conflicting thoughts, conflicting vibrations, conflicting frequencies. And so part of me was like, is this real? They can't exist. We've been told on telly for all these years, but they wouldn't tell us all this, would they? And then the deeper part of me was like researching all this information and like looking at the size of the universe and thinking, well, this makes a lot of sense. And so I was in it, and this is perhaps why I was having bizarre situations where I'd see a UFO and then it'd turn into an aeroplane, because literally believing is seeing. And if I were like a friend recently told me, they saw a vision of a corpse of an extraterrestrial lying outside a trailer, and they looked back and it was gone. And I suggested that perhaps this is because it was first thing in the morning, you'd just waken up, which it was, and your belief systems was very open. Your mind hadn't really kicked in. But then after you saw it, you like second guessed and thought, no, this can't be happening. Well, I'm seeing things, and because your belief changed, you couldn't see it. So that's the idea. Rewiring the physical mind, looking to neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain, and creating positive thoughts. You know, Abraham Hicks is a great start to look at for creating positive thoughts. So have a great day, guys. Shivai. See you in the next video.